such a realistic kind of notion. Snatching up the bad vibes and throw them in the ocean. It's having a little faith when you don't know where you're going. A double shot of courage, that's the magic kind of potion. If you wanna fly, it's a one to leave the ledge. Don't it feel right when your heart takes over your head? Well, it's a bang, bang, bang up against the wall, just to see if it sticks, just to see if it falls. They call you crazy right before you make history. Dare to live, love, laugh, eat, drink, and dream. Imagination's like a telepathic way into your future. You can be the passenger, or you can be the chooser. High risk, low risk, no reward. Even if your spaceship's a no Ford. Fly, it's a one to leave the ledge. Don't it feel right when your heart takes over your head? Well, it's a bang, bang, bang up against the wall, just to see if it sticks, just to see if it falls. They call you crazy right before you make history. Dare to live, love, laugh, eat, drink, and dream.
What's up, everybody? We're having a crawfish bowl in the barn tonight. It's a good time. Everybody's good. How you doing, my brother?
I am doing great.
My brother.
Excited to eat some mud bugs, my brother.
Mud bugs. What you know about mud bugs?
I know they taste delicious.
They do taste delicious. Delicious.
Delicious.
Delicious. Let's do welcome everybody that's coming in. One of my best buddies in the world. He doesn't know that he's my best buddy in the world, but he's just unbelievable. I'm gonna go ahead and get him up here. Why not?
Hey!
I threw a curveball. I do that. Mo Pitney, everybody.
Hey!
Hey, Mo.
How you doing?
Man, I'm so good, so good. The weather's perfect. The dogwoods are in bloom. The turkeys are gobbling.
Crappie are biting?
I mean,
How can you not be happy?
it's just all good, man. It's like, it's a good time of year. And we've been trying to, this is given right here. We've been trying to do this for a little while, but I'm glad that we finally made it happen.
Yeah.
We got out here.
You don't know how happy this made me to hear from you to come out and play. I've heard so
Sure.
many good things about the barn and everybody out there. I'm sure you know this just by the way that I've been able to talk about you anytime you've come up in conversation, but I am just the biggest fan of Drake White. And I have been since we first met out on a radio tour. And I've just been applauding you every step of the way for doing what you do and being real. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're definitely cut from the same cloth. Thank you. Isn't it nice to hear people clap? It's good.
Yeah, it is.
It's
And
good.
see people hugging on each other and
Crawfish
hooping and
smells good.
It sure does.
It's just good. You got a beautiful little girl here. One of them.
Yeah, we've got. I've got two girls, but only one's here. I got a little 9-month-old baby, Audra, back there, and I got a wife back there that I love very much, Emily, bouncing the baby. So I'm a blessed man.
Awesome. Well, would I be throwing you a curveball too much if we just let you start this thing?
No, not at all.
Man,
I kind
I
of
can't-
figured you would throw me a curveball, so I plugged in while you
good.
were talking to me.
I'm all about curveballs, man. But I'm a huge fan of this guy, inside and out. Inside is just as good as outside, and I'm telling you, I'll just let you sing and do your thing. Mo Pitney, everybody.
Yeah. This is for Emily. We've been doing this thing for a while now. Had our share of crazy ups and downs now. It's good to see we're still around now. Ain't it, babe? Life has a way of drifting hearts apart now, but we just keep on keeping that spark now. If love can make it through the dark now, we found a way. 'Cause I still wanna kiss you in a crowd now, sing my to say now. Girl, I don't wanna miss a day now. And there ain't nothing like right now with you. Girl, you're sure looking good now. If you let me hold you, I would now. And touch you just like I should now with my fingertips. Got something running through my head now. I wanna sleep over on your side of the bed now. Got sweet things that I haven't said now on my lips. And I still wanna kiss you in a crowd now. Sing my love songs out loud now. Let everyone that I know now know I wrote about you. Guess all I'm trying to say now. Girl, I don't wanna miss a day now. And there ain't nothing like right now with you. Guess all I'm trying to say now. Girl, I don't wanna miss a day now. And there ain't nothing like right now with you. We've been doing this thing for a while now. Ain't it good to see we're still around now? Thank y'all. I sung my wife right out of the room. She ran out the back door. Yep.
She bounced that baby right out the back door. So good, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure that. I don't even know what we're going to play yet.
I like that.
Let's look at the what do y'all want to hear? Let's do Powerful Woman.
Powerful Woman?
Yeah. And so this is a new one that I wrote with my friend Kelly Johnson, who we need to write with. She's phenomenal. And Kelly Johnson and Lindsay Hinkle. And last night I went to Stony River, the steakhouse over on West End, to eat with a buddy and talk about how good the light at the end of the tunnel was. And Lindsay was just running the Stony River like a boss. That she was working at Stony River. Okay. And then the people that came up, the guy that came up used to tour with us as well, and had a band. I can't remember the band's name right now, but I'll remember it, before we get through singing. But the point of all that was there's so many people with the pandemic and everything that has happened that are working jobs. Really, a lot of talented folks in Nashville are out there working and doing what they got to do. And so I want to shoot this out to Lindsay and Kelly and all the people out there writing songs with faith that these songs will see the light of day. But this is Powerful Woman. She plays a mean game of poker. She's got curls in her hair. She looks good on Broadway or the middle of nowhere. Yeah. She's got 3 dogs she rescued on a road trip out west. She can change a tire, build a fire, makes my heart beat out my chest. Oh, she's so sweet like Sunday morning. She's got a mind of her own, Lord. Ain't she something? She gets me high, lightning storming. I believe in the power of a woman, yeah. loves tequila and Jesus. Says they make her feel warm. Says things like, Holy Moses, and I bless your heart. She can cuss like a sailor. She gets that from her mom. But her favorite four-letter word is love, love, love. Oh, she's so weak like Sunday morning. She's got a mind of her own, Lord. Ain't she something? She gets me high, lightning storming. I believe in the power of a woman. I believe in the power of a woman. Oh, yeah. Now she works like the devil, and she cries when she prays, but leaves a good glass of wine, can't fix anything, holds it all together. Oh, I'm so amazed how she feed the baby, she juggle crazy with a smile on her face. Oh, she's so weak like Sunday morning. She got a mind of her own, Lord. Hey, she's something that gets me high, lightning storming. I believe in the power of a woman. I believe in the power of a woman. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Great song.
Thank you. We got people that have been tuning in. This is our 55th week
Wow.
for Wednesday Night Therapy, for meeting in the barn on Wednesdays. We call it Wednesday Night Therapy Mobile because that's exactly what it is. You know, I got attacked by a bear. That's why I'm limping a little bit. But that bear was in the form of a lot of veins and arteries in the back of my head. We've talked a little bit about that.
Yeah.
But I'm proof that you can live through a bear attack and still do your thing. And it took a lot of praying, a lot of people praying, and a lot of things. But yeah, welcome to the barn. And man, it's good, isn't it? Feels good.
Yeah, man, I'm just so filled with faith that you've been healed. God's healing. He's doing amazing things in your life. When I hear the faith in your voice, the confidence in God working in your life, it's just been incredible. And even just getting here and hugging you and just hearing the joy and power in your voice has been so inspiring to me. So thanks for looking at the world through His eyes in that way. And man, it's just so encouraging.
Thank you.
I'll play you a little song about our life. We're going to build a barn one day. That's another thing. You've inspired we walked in here and she says, I want our barn to look like this when we build it. So
Cool. I got a napkin or two I can share with you.
with drawings on it.
Maybe.
Barn drawings on a napkin.
Yeah. There's a couple somewhere.
This is about our life over about 20 miles from here up on the side of a hill. We got us actually, we live in a barn. We built a barn dominium, and so we live on concrete. And we got our Brittany Spaniels in there that sit on the front porch, and we wrote a song about it. So it's called Ain't Bad for a Good Old Boy. Since y'all are so loose, I'll I'll stop it and tune. I ain't the product of a trust fund. Far as money goes, I ain't got none. But I trade my time in the hot sun for enough to get me by. My pickup's old and rusty. She rattles and stays dusty. But when Emma lays there beside me, it shines, shines, shines. We got a roof to keep the rain off, a mailbox to write her name on, a 10-acre lot with a little bird dog on the front porch, guarding that screen door, baking in the pancakes on the griddle, hand in hand right down the middle, life with a girl in love that's a real McCoy. It ain't bad for a good old boy. She's gracing holy blue jeans with a face made for the movies. Yeah, she beats all I ever dreamed every time she wakes me up. She's got a way of making something out of a whole lot of nothing. The honey in her loving is like money in my cup. We got a roof to keep the rain on, a mailbox to write her name on, a 10-acre lot with a little bird dog on the front porch, guarding that screen door, baking in the pancakes on the griddle, hand in hand right down the middle, life with a girl in a love that's a real McCoy. It ain't bad for a good old boy. We got a roof to keep the rain off, a mailbox to write her name on, a 10-acre lot with a little bird dog on the front porch, baking in the pancakes on the griddle, hand in hand right down the middle, life with a girl in a love that's a real McCoy. It ain't bad for a good old boy. It ain't bad for a good old boy.
I believe I'm staring at one right now. Man, I like that. I
Thank
like
you.
that. So tell us about so you're working on. Are you recording right now, or have you got these recorded
Yeah.
and kind of got the gun loaded and just ready to go?
Yeah, we did something crazy, and we snuck a record out right before the pandemic, or right in the middle of it, honestly.
Yeah.
So it's in some way been asleep, as we all have been for the first little bit, but it's starting to come to life a little bit here at the beginning of this year, which I'm excited about. It's an album called Ain't Looking Back.
Yeah.
And we had a single out, which was the song that I just played, but it was just kind of floating around there for a little while. We're getting ready to switch gears and release another single called Local Honey, which I'll play here in a little bit. And I appreciate that. And yeah, it's exciting to feel the new life after the storm. You know, you got the springtime and the red buds are budding out here. That's I see down by your pond down there, which is amazing. Yeah. And the record kind of feels that way too. You got Easter and rebirth and resurrection and a new record and everything. It's coming to life, and I'm excited about that. So
It's a great time of year. I remember when we did the Country Outdoors Jam a couple of weeks ago. You came in late. You came in. I'm talking like 3 or 4 songs late.
Like really
and
late.
Mo said that, man, I've been looking forward to the show for like 2 months. I mean, we hadn't had shows or anything, and for some reason,
one of the first things we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he said, I just have been going all day, not even thinking about a show. And I think that's what this time has done for us. Like we've lost track of days. And John Eldridge, which I love John Eldridge. You know who he is?
Oh yeah.
I was listening to a podcast with him. I can't remember the name of the podcast, but he's talking about how we've lost track of days, we've lost track of times, and all of that stuff. And the pandemic has truly tested our confidence.
Yeah.
Because we don't even know. Man, thanks for that haze.
Yeah.
That's good. When I start talking about John Eldridge, the haze comes in. The spirit. But it's cool to get back to a place where I don't know.
Today.
Today.
Today is the day for salvation.
Today's the day.
Let's live right now.
Let's live right now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love that. I love that. I was going to play a song, but that made me think of another thing. So I want to do Pawn Shop Rings and Double Wide Dreams. So this is just a story, about people in Alabama. I grew up in a small town in Alabama, and some of the happiest people I knew were folks that didn't have really a pot to piss in, is what we say.
Yeah.
But they had each other, and they had, cheap rings, and it wasn't necessarily about, money or anything. It was just about loving each other, and had a bunch of kids running around in the yard, and that was it. So this song I wrote with Jonathan Singleton and Allison Veltz Cruz, who just had a baby. So congratulations to Allison. But this one's called Pawn Shop Rings and Double Wide Dreams, and we're gonna get that.
That's right. We're gonna get it.
Still wanna fly us to an island, buy you a bigger diamond. No, I wouldn't mind getting you a new ride with a sunroof in it. And even if we hit that lotto, got us a house in Colorado. I bet you all that money we'd miss this, honey. So if we never win it, we got a chain leg bluebird singing us a love song we can dance to. The front yard's full of free flowers I can pick for you. All we need is an old tire swing, got names in the tree with a four and a never and a heart in between. And baby, you and me got everything we need. Pawn shop rings and double wide dreams. Yep. We got a full moon porch view. I got a your name tattoo. We got it made in the sycamore shade. Yeah, baby, ain't nothing worth missing. So we got a chain leg bluebird singing us a love song we can dance to. The front yard's full of free flowers I can pick for you. All we need is an old tire swings, our names in the tree with a four and a never and a heart in between. And baby, you and me got everything we need. Pawn shop rings and double wide dreams. Come on. I got a hand-me-down 6-string strumming, and you got a heart of gold harmony. It's money in the bank every time you kiss me. So we got a we got a I meant to do that.
Chain link.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, we got a chain link from Port Swinging, and you got a heart of gold harmony. It's money in the bank every time you kiss me. We got a chain link bluebird singing us a love song we can dance to. The front yard's full of free flowers I can pick for you. All we need is an old tire swing, got names in the tree with a four and a never and a heart in between. And Baby, you and me got everything we need. Pawn shop rings and double wide dreams ahead. All right.
Surprise keychain.
It's a keychain surprise. Man, so you forgot that there was a show, and I remember how, like, you were like, dadgum, like, I was looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this for 2 months.
Yeah, so, and I think it was even longer than that, we come through being locked in our basement. It felt like forever. And some things had changed with our management company and everything. Some people were needing to be laid off because of what happened. And and things just kind of got mixed up in the shuffle. And it was on my calendar, but I just was sitting down to dinner and getting ready to put a big spoonful of mashed potatoes in my mouth, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm supposed to be sitting on stage right now. And jumped in the car, called Mary, who had us there playing, and I said, I'll be there as soon as I can, and if you want me just to turn around and never see my face again, I get it. She says, come on, let's play. And everybody loved on me, and I think she told everybody I got pulled over by the police or something like that, and I had to correct her and say that, no, I just am a forgetful person is all. So, but speaking about the year and a half that we've had, I've loved being around you because you just have such a bright view on everything that's happened, and I've been able to see that as well, that God's done some amazing things in our lives through all of this, and so many people have good testimonies through what has happened. But I do know friends that with just really radical circumstances and losing spouses right before everything happened and being completely alone and also full of fear to leave their place and receive help or give somebody a hug, even when their heart needed it, that I've got some friends that got in some really dark places. So I'm glad that we felt prompted to put this song I'm getting ready to play on the record. It's a song about depression, and sometimes things can actually be going really well in your life and everything on the inside's gray, and I wanted to make sure people didn't feel alone in that. It's a pretty human thing, but it's definitely not the end of the story if you've ever been there. I don't have to open up my eyes, crawl out of bed or raise the many blinds. Looks like rain. Looks like rain. Turn on the TV, worthless weatherman. Perfect day for outdoor plans. Looks like rain. Looks like rain. Walk out and grab the paper. The neighbor's cutting grass. What's wrong with him? Guess he hasn't heard. She packed up the blue skies, took it on that plane, and there ain't been no sunshine since she went away. No, that's not a shadow on the ground. That's just a cloud that follows me around. Looks like rain. Looks like rain. I'd love to close up this umbrella, put a pair of Ray-Bans on, and lay down on some beach 'cause the clouds are gone. But the best that I can hope for is just get through the day and then wake up tomorrow to a lighter shade of gray. Yeah, I know someday the sun will shine again, but right now I'd probably better head back in. Looks like rain. Looks like rain. Looks like rain.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to play WD40, but I don't have the words to it.
And I don't think I've ever heard it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard
I
it.
was going to get Derek. Derek, I think Derek might know it. We can all play. I'm putting him on the spot. Is Derek here?
Derek, come take this guitar.
We can do it next. Or we can do it after this song. I like doing this spontaneous thing.
Yeah.
Well, while we're waiting,
Oh, you can go ahead.
what's up?
Zach, how you doing, buddy?
Zachary!
I got to admit, I'm a huge Mo Pitney fan.
Man,
Likewise.
aren't
So
we
I
all?
totally geeked out. Like,
Aren't we all?
I was like, this is awesome. Yeah, so what's up, everybody? Hey, Derek.
You want to do it next? He's here.
While we're waiting,
Yeah. Might as well. Do you
Might
have
as
the
well.
word? If you got the words.
Get over here.
Oh, good.
well,
I got to sing this because I know Mo loves WD-40. So
I've got it in the door of my truck because you never know when you need it.
never know when you need to loosen something up.
Yeah. I've got bug spray and WD-40 in the door of my
I
truck.
think WD-40 could double as bug spray.
It could.
Yeah.
It has for me.
Or
and hair gel.
or arthritis medication.
What's up, dudes? Y'all having fun up here?
Derek, drive.
after this song,
Hey.
I'll talk.
Okay.
I want to hear this tune.
So this is my buddy Derek Dry. They just bought a house in Watts Creek, and they got a great song called Watts Creek. His wife, him and his wife Caitlin. Caitlin, you can sing. You can come up here and sing this if you want to.
Yeah, come on.
They are.
You can sing here.
No.
or
You
whatever.
don't have to get out of the way. She can. She's loud enough. I promise. She could just sing where she's from.
Okay.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter.
Sing
So
where you're from.
we had this thought. What are you chewing on?
I chew on water bottles too when I get bored.
Yeah. So, my dad is the kind of guy that puts WD-40 on the bottom of the lawnmower deck. Hey, Caitlin. Hey. So the grass doesn't stick on the lawnmower deck.
That's genius.
It is pretty genius. So we wrote this song. It's called WD-40. You want to hear it?
I want to
Love
hear
it.
it.
We're going to sing it whether you want to or not. But they're the Dries. This is the Dries, everybody. Could I have a round of applause for the Dries up here? Spontaneity. Yeah. All right. Do you remember the words?
You got the, oh no. Here we go.
All right. Here we go. Oh, you guys are going to like this. Maybe I'll get a lifetime supply of WD-40 off this. Ooh. Ooh. They call me WD-40, let me loosen you up like a shot of white lightning in a coffee cup. Are you too tied up, girl? Lordy, lordy. It's WD-40. Put me on the tractor. Put me in your car, put me on your six-string Gibson guitar. I'm a blue and yellow can man sliding in some glory. WD-40. Ooh, are you stuck in a rut? Yeah, ooh, let me loosen you up. Are you all wound up grease in your story. WD40. Woo. WD40. Woo. All right, check it out, Mo.
WD40.
Somebody's barking. What is it's a perfect time for it. Because is your screen door barking like a baby seal? Is your mojo creaking like a squeaky wheel? Is a loud bedpost stalling your procreation? Some folks have been known to use it for arthritis medication. Ooh, are you stuck in a rut? Some days, some ways. Ooh, let it loosen you up. Are you all greased up? Need a little grease in your story. WD-40.
Tell them about it.
So in 1953, two men named the WD-40 company. Well, WD-40 is acronymous for water displacement, and it is the 40th attempt to make this wonderful, I don't have the notes in front of me, but it's just an unbelievable product, and my dad sometimes puts it on the bottom of his lawnmower to keep the grass from sticking on it. You can put it on your door hinges. I'm sure you've got a can in your door jamb.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can put it on your hands to relieve your arthritis. You can drink it if you want to.
Yeah.
Hair
I wouldn't
gel?
recommend it.
Hair gel?
Yes, oh yeah, to slick it back like Del McCurry.
Ooh, I'm stuck in a rut. Ooh, it sticks you up. Are you all greased up? Need a little grease in your story. WD-40. All greased up, need a little grease in your story. WD-40. Whoo, WD-40. Whoo, give me some of that WD-40. Whoo, WD-40. Y'all sing with us. Whoo, WD-40.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Great.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Dries. I love y'all. Yeah.
That's great.
There's your phone back. Man, thanks everybody out there for your patience of letting me get that song in. That's what this thing has been good for. These Wednesday nights, like we've had the band, and a lot of times it's full band coming here, and we've just been playing these new songs.
That's great.
So it's been super satisfying. For me.
Yeah. Get feedback from people and everything else, I'm sure.
It's really good. But we'll let my buddy Zach talk for a minute. This is how we roll. I mean, and folks have been, I'll tell Mo, like, the way this has been working is I'd been on my back in the hospital bed for 8 months, and then I was like, I've got to go play. I got to go do this thing. So I opened up my Venmo and PayPal, and the first week was just crazy. Wow. People were just so generous to the guys and myself. And I was like, heck, we can sustain.
Yeah.
We can, and it's literally what has paid the bills and what has paid to have all this thing. So thanks to everybody for your donations on Venmo and PayPal, and the merch has been off the chain too. So it's been really good. But go ahead, Zach. Sorry.
We got a bunch of, well, we don't have a bunch of new merch, but we have a cool new piece of merch tonight for week 55. We now have a fire starter T-shirt.
An official fire starter
An official
t-shirt.
fire starter T-shirt. So
You know where how I designed this?
No.
That stripe below that shirt right there is on the top of the Mexican restaurant refrigerator down the road.
No.
Yeah. If y'all look at the Mexican habaneros, if y'all look at the, I just ate a bug almost. If y'all look at the refrigerator habaneros down here, that's the color scheme.
Great.
So I think they're fire.
Inspiration.
I think they're fire in there. So. My fire starters have been what has kept us going, and so I wanted to make this shirt, and just to where I could point them out at shows, be like, that right there, that man or that woman right there kept it going, kept the fire lit, kept it lit.
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 Well, and everybody's asking now, so we do a merch code, and that's all I'm good for. It's the merch code.
Oh, no.
So this week, the merch code is Maple.
I like that.
Maple syrup?
Maple.
Maple. She got a haircut.
She did get a
Where
haircut.
is
She looks good.
I know she's running around here. So merch code's Maple. We have the Firestarter T-shirts, and Stone also wanted me to say that we have the Barn Gangster T-shirts. We are now offering them up to like 2 and 3X. So
You big
homies,
boys. You big boys and you big girls,
They've been asking.
you can have your shirt. And we got to get Mo in a Barn Gangster shirt. If
Yeah, we
anybody
do.
is a Barn Gangster,
He's a
Mo
Barn
is.
Gangster.
I'm all over that.
We got to get him one.
Cool. Well, thank you for letting me take my time to do the merch code. See ya.
Absolutely. Brother.
Well, since you brought up Maple syrup, I think I'll do a little Roger Miller medley. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Makes you wanna holler, hidey-ho. Burns your tummy, don't you know? Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. Grape wine in a mason jar, homemade and brought to school by a friend of mine after class. Me and him and this fool decided that we'd drink up what's left. Chug-a-lug, I thought we'd help ourselves. Yeah, I swallowed it with a smile. Run 10 miles, chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. That makes you wanna holler, hidey-ho. Burns your tummy, don't you know? Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug. They tell me you're running free, your days are never blue. Oh, well, I wish you had your happiness, and you had to do, I could 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 do. I tell people this song's about coveting. They tell me you're running free, your days are never blue. Oh, well, I wish you had your happiness, and you had to do, I could 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 do. Hey, see you running down the street in your big Cadillac. You got girls in the front and got girls in the back. And hey, way in the back, you got money in a sack. Both hands on the wheel and your shoulders reared back. Ribbo! No, they tell me you're running free. Your days are never blue. Oh, well, I wish you had your happiness, and you had to do, I could 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 do. Wop.
Mo Pitney, everybody. Man, it don't get much better than Roger Miller.
Man, I don't think I'd ever fallen in love with music as far as I did had I not come in contact with this music.
I'm watching on PBS right now. They're doing a special on Hemingway, and I heavily encourage people to go watch it. It's really cool seeing how he figured things out and wrote and just kind of did what he did. And the thing that stands out to me about people like Roger Miller or Hemingway or anybody that we look up to is the razor sharp edge. And we were talking about how narrow the gates are, and James, talking about that the way to heaven is narrow.
Yeah.
And I used to think that was a negative thing.
Yeah.
But we were talking earlier before the show about how that's not a negative thing, because truth it has to be a narrow gate for truth to fit through.
Yeah.
Or it could just be a bunch of hogwash.
Yeah.
And these guys,
And the thin blade cuts through the bull crap.
that razor thin blade cuts through that bull crap. And can we give a hand for the thin blade cutting through the bull crap?
Amen.
I like that. Amen. It's just so apparent in those people like a Roger Miller or a Hemingway. They started with truth. Hemingway said that I tried to write one sentence of truth and then do it again and then do it
Interaction.
again, and then do it again.
Line upon line.
Line upon line. And I think I hear that in your songwriting, man. I do.
I
And
appreciate that.
so
Same
it's-
with you. It's just
Thank you.
a blaring light of truth when you sing your songs. Seems like there's little T truth and there's big T truth. Big T truth is exactly the way things are or should be, and then little T truth is kind of our journey of getting there and being honest exactly where we're at. And I hear both meet each other in your music, that you're honest about the journey there, but your sights are set on the big T truth, exactly where we're all going. So I appreciate that in your music, man.
Man. Barn benediction. I love it. I love it. That's barn dominium.
Barn dominium. We live in a barn.
I love that.
We haven't had a home birth yet, so none of our kids can claim the born in a barn thing, but maybe one day
Maybe
they
one
will.
more for that. Yeah.
Maybe. You gonna have more kids?
Lord willing.
Lord willing.
And a creek don't rise.
I want to sing this song to you. My fans are familiar with it, but I wrote this song when the odds were stacked against us. And my buddy Phil Billy, you know Phil Billy?
Oh, yeah.
And he came out here, and we sat right there with my dear friend Allison Veltz Cruz, who I'm telling you, me and you got to get with her. She's lightning, and she's got just these superpowers, and she loves God, and she loves people, and she loves dogs, and she loves melodies.
Awesome.
So
Good combination.
we started, Phil Billy had this idea called Giants. And he talked about, like, we all got giants. We've all got these things that we overcome and that we have to figure out. And considering it pure joy, in the middle of that, being resilient, we would all like to think that we are resilient. We would all like to think that how we would act in certain situations, but you just don't know until you're dealt that deck of cards. And when you are, and you come out the other side of it, and the people around you are still, and it's just like smoldering from the fire, if you will, you kind of look around and you're like, wow, we made it.
Yeah.
That's what me and Alex have kind of done. Like,
Wow.
we made it, We're standing here. So this is called Giants.
Awesome.
For some it's a cigarette, for some it's a blackjack bet, for some it's playing Russian roulette with the bottle. For some it's a broken heart, pink slip in a foreclosed yard, 18 in a goodbye car, waving to her father. Oh, we all got giants. We all feel like David facing Goliath sometimes, but they make us feel so small, back us against the wall. But they don't know they're turning underdogs to lions. So bring on those giants. For some it's a locker room, for some it's a bourbon bruise, for some it's a Sunday pew talking to Jesus. For some it's a sound of goodbye, single singing two pain lines. Some people gotta stay high, and some are scared of flying, scared of trying, scared of dying. We've all got giants. We all feel like David facing Goliath sometimes, but they make us feel so small, back us against the wall. But they don't know they're turning underdogs to lions. So bring on those giants. Oh yeah, come on. Well, we all got them skeletons in the closet. And we all got them mountains we're climbing. And the testing our faith in the fights. We've all got giants. We all feel like David facing Goliath sometimes, well, they make us feel so small, back us against the wall. But they don't know they're turning underdogs to lions. So bring on those giants. Bring on the giants. Bring on those giants. Bring on the giants. Oh, bring on the giants. Oh, bring on the giants. For some it's a cigarette. For some it's a blackjack bet. For some it's playing Russian roulette with the bottle. For some it's a broken heart, a pink slip in a foreclosed yard, 18 in a goodbye car, waving to her father.
Man.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
That's a good way to use a song right there. All them words.
That's a lot of words.
Good ones.
Yeah. Thank you. I have a hard time remembering them. I can't remember them most of the time, but when the times I do, it's pretty good.
Man.
I feel pretty good about it.
Between all of us, we usually have all the cues.
Yeah. Yeah, they're usually telling me it's like cigarette, blackjack bet, Russian roulette.
Yeah, Stone will be side stage, just like mouthing words out and be like, cigarette.
Yeah, that is me, and my sister travels with us. So my brother plays the bass, my sister plays acoustic, sings a high harmony when we travel with the full band. And she knows the look. When I look over at her,
Yeah.
she knows, okay, I got to tell them the lyrics, and I hope I don't give them the wrong ones.
Yeah, your dad played with y'all a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, so coming up, my dad, we started playing bluegrass music. We talked about this a little bit before. But my dad's a banjo player, but he's also a steel guitar player. So his world of music crossed from bluegrass to country just like mine did. And so early on when I was a Tony Rice addict and J.D. Crowe addict, we would drive around the country to bluegrass festivals and play. And so that was cool. And when I started playing more country music, he'd sit down with a steel guitar and play. And we made a record where it was mostly a bluegrass record, but my dad picked out some country songs for us to sing, and we didn't have drums or anything. It was all acoustic music, but then he'd play the steel guitar over what we did. Mm-hmm. And my dad still, from time to time, travels with us and does sound. I tell people he's got big ears from being a good musician, and so he likes to come on the road and see things go smooth. So, I couldn't escape it. It was all around me from my mother's side and my father's side, music. So,
yeah, I love it. Bluegrass has this special spot in my soul. I think I can go to a happy place. When I go to that happy place, it's like wind chimes and bluegrass. Like I hear those things. You know?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And where did you grow up?
So it's strange that I would fall in love with bluegrass music because I grew up in northern Illinois. Mm-hmm. But I tell people that all my people came from Arkansas and Missouri, and they moved up there to find work at S-Swing Hammers and Nuts and Bolts factories up there. Some of them slept in tents until they could find a place to live up there when everything moved up there during the Depression. And but they carried the music with them, so it was front porches and Baptist churches singing gospel music and playing bluegrass all my life.
Yeah.
And so that's my happy place in a big way. It's in the blood and in the memories as well. And when those two things, nature and nurture, come together, it's a pretty powerful thing. So
I agree. I saw you jamming in a barn on your socials the other day. Y'all were doing like a Sunday. Was it Sunday picking or something?
Yeah. Well, I think it was the Easter.
Picking.
Yeah, we got together on Easter, and some of my best friends that play, we just decided to get in a circle and pick, and we thought it'd be, 20 minutes of music that turned into 3 hours of just sitting there and picking and telling stories.
We need to do that on Sunday here. We need to come out here on Sunday and just gather up and have...
You call me, I'll be here.
Cool.
Yeah, you're inspiring to be around. So you give me a phone call, run down here and fill my tank so that I can write some more songs and pick and smile. And because it can get discouraging. I don't want to be down in any way, but it can get discouraging. And this town, or different times when if you don't feel like you've found your avenue of what you're supposed to be doing, or putting your heart into something, and being around people that really believe in the heart of the music just fills your tank in a way that you can't describe. So I think we got to stick together.
I agree.
This song fits perfect with what we're talking about. It's the first song on our album. Jamie Johnson came and sang it with me as a duet, which was pretty cool. But I tell people this is my letter to Nashville, telling people why I moved to town and how I reckon with why I'm doing what I'm doing every day. Not for the praise of man, but that I found an inexpressible gift in music that unlocks something in my heart that I haven't been able to close. And so this song is called Music Man. I didn't come here to be famous or to see my name in lights. I didn't come here for the money. Awards don't even cross my mind. But as long as I can remember, I've had a guitar in my hand. It's like God looked at me from heaven, said, I think I'll make a music man. And it was deep down in my bones, woven in my heart and soul. Just a kid there on my bed, trying to get out what hurt his head. And now I live out on the stage. There's people here to hear us play. So I'm just giving you a song you might remember when I'm gone. You might ask what keeps me going through the airports and the rain. Yeah, I just love to see your faces, though I may never know your names. Truth is, I think I found my purpose down here in the grand design. That's just to sing the words God gives me, to know He's with me all the time. And it's deep down in my bones, woven in my heart and soul. Still a kid out on the road that don't ever have to be alone. And now I'm on another stage with Drake White. There's people here to hear us play. So I'm just giving you a song for you to remember when I'm gone. Let me leave you with this song you might remember when I'm gone.
So good, Mo.
Thank you.
So, I'm a huge fan of Tony Rice, and I just kind of want to, I know the way I felt the first time I heard Church Street Blues
Oh
and all
my
that
goodness,
stuff.
yeah.
And him passing, what kind of went through? I mean, we lost so many. John Prine. I mean, there's just so many. But
yeah. Tony Rice was unique
Yeah.
for my life. I was saying a little while ago that there was an element of my identity, and I think it was connected to my dad. That my dad had a stack of Tony Rice albums. I think that our relationships with our fathers are the most important relationships in the world. No matter how they turn out, that seems like they just shape the rest of your life. And my way of wanting to impress my dad was to be interested in what he was interested in, and Tony Rice moved him to his core. Ever since he was a little kid, I heard stories about him on the edge of his bed learning Gold Rush, actually, which we were playing a little bit ago. And so I used to stand in front of my mirror after watching videos of Tony Rice and he would stand with his left foot in front of his right foot and put the back of his boot on the back of his other heel and lean back and forth to get a certain dynamic out of his mic. And I would sit in front of my mirror and try to figure out how to make my hand look exactly like his, keep the guitar perfectly straight like he did, and stand like him, and keep my shoulders at a small slant like he did. And so losing him wasn't just losing the music would stay around. And I haven't got to see him play live that much because he didn't play as much near the end of his life. Yeah. But just his life moving on was like losing, part of my past and identity. It really shook me, but profound moments pulling back and listening to those records after that.
Yeah, I think, I'm 37, and I think what 37, like going through obviously the near-death experience and that kind of thing, I've looked at my dad who's 65. I've looked at my mom, my Uncle Ron who's 82, Vietnam veteran.
Wow.
And they've always been the hairy-chested 45-year-old men out there that topping out trees and cutting grass and going out there and setting up all the stuff on the beach and hanging out. They've always been these guys and these, like I said, 45-year-old guys that had my back and just legends to me. And as people. Death is something that, not to go here, but like it's just something we're all going to face. And I look at the age I'm at, and I start thinking about those times in the woods, or my grandpa telling me about the way a turkey or a white-tailed deer acts, and paying attention. And I cherish those moments. I cherish those moments with my Uncle Ron. I just talked to him the other day. The phone rang, and I mashed decline, and I felt this weight in my heart when I mashed decline, because if he's watching right now, I know it. So sorry, Ron, I mashed decline the first time you called. But I called him back within 10 minutes or so, because it's just so important to have those conversations with those people. And the music, the stories, the lessons, the wisdom. I think that the United States, we should start. We're like the only culture that doesn't like glorify our
Heritage.
like the older people. We glorify youth. We glorify looking good and no wrinkles in your face. Man, I like wrinkles and gray beards. I like that. And I can't say that I've never looked in the mirror and been like, man, I wish that little patch of gray wasn't there. I can't say that, but I'm saying I've always loved old folks, and I've always felt like I was born, 50 years too late.
But I think that's exactly why you're born, because you're saying what you're saying right now to a generation that needs to hear it. So you weren't born 50 years too late, I assure you that.
I was born right on time. So I wrote this song called "Legends Never Die" about my uncle.
Awesome.
And I want to sing it tonight. He's an eagle, always flying high, likes his whiskey the same way he walks the line. A tear-up story when he takes a sip of that Uncle Sam paid 68, a one-way jungle trip. A break the mold, never fold, one of a kinder. A million been through hell, tall tales around a fire. When he leaves this world, there won't be no goodbyes, 'cause heroes are remembered, but legends never die. Now pushing 80, going on 21, and pushing daisies. I'll have to wait till he gets done. Chasing lightning, still running with the wind. He's a lover, he's a fighter, but to me he's always a been. A break the mold, never fold, one of a kinder. Million been through hell, tall tales around the fire. Now when he leaves this world, there won't be no goodbyes, 'cause heroes are remembered, but legends never die. You can put them in the ground, you can put their names in stone, but they'll still be around long after they're gone. Break the mold, never fold, one of a kinder. A million been through hell, tall tales around a fire. When he leaves this world, there won't be no goodbyes, 'cause heroes are remembered. Yeah, those heroes are remembered, yeah, but legends never die. He's an eagle, likes his whiskey. Thank you. Thank you.
That's a great song, man.
Thank you.
Heard you play it in sound check, but it's nice to hear it in the moment of the concert too.
I love it. We haven't cut that one yet. A lot of these we haven't cut yet. We've got 4 or 5 that we've done, and we're working on a record and releasing it. As you said, I went through a lot of transition with management and just business type stuff. But we got all that stuff behind us, and we're cutting these songs and hopefully getting them out in this summer, starting as soon as possible. So
Awesome.
we're excited.
I look forward to hearing it all. This is our next single. Well, there she was at the fruit stand at the farmer's market off of 4th and Main, selling raspberry jelly in her right hand. I joked about the jam just to catch her name. She said you ought to give it a try. But oh, it really had my eye was that local honey, sweeter than sugar, just standing there. That local honey, homegrown $20 on some fruit pies and another $20 on some homemade soap. And I helped her pack up when the sun died. I took her to the diner for a root beer float. She let me have one little sip, but all I wanted on my lips was that local honey, sweeter than sugar, just standing there. That local honey, homegrown down the road about a mile from here, where the birds and the bees get buzzy. Makes me wanna lay down my money on this local honey. Oh yeah. I got honey dripping off my lips now, honey calling on my phone. Yeah, honey gonna stick by me now. Everywhere I go, got this local honey, sweeter than sugar, just standing there. This local honey, homegrown down the road about a mile from here. Local honey, sweeter than sugar, just standing there. That local honey, homegrown down the road about a mile from here, where the birds and the bees get buzzy. Makes me wanna lay down my money on this local honey. Local honey. All right. Man, if I heard you done that before, I'd have got you to sing on the record.
Bad. He's a bad man. He's bad. He's bad. He's bad.
Man, that boy good.
That's good. He's good. He's good. Y'all enjoying it out there in the barn?
All right.
Man, it puts a little pep in your step for me. And you ever ate at Wendell Smith's?
Oh, yeah.
So that's my joint. That's my place that I go, and I don't know where I was going other than I ate some collard greens from there today. Well, turnip greens, and I ate a double order. And when you eat a double order of turnip greens, it's like, man, this extra jolt of energy. Y'all didn't think I was going there, but it's energy, and that's what this song. These songs, this music, you know, it gives us something to look forward to. You know,
Yeah.
Wednesday nights, coming in here and doing this thing. And Wednesday night was a church night for me growing up. Like, my parents knocked the doors down. And I just consider this church, you know.
Yeah.
I consider it coming in here and being with people like Dylan Jones and all these guys and yourself. And having these guests in here has been absolutely phenomenal. So
Man,
thank you for being a
having
guest,
me.
man.
No, man, I'm completely humbled and inspired to be here. So thank you for calling me.
Absolutely.
What you thinking, man? What do you want to send him off with?
I don't know. I think I want to send them off with the optimistic.
I like that idea.
And then I'm gonna let Mo send them off completely
For sure.
into the bed. Man, so somebody, Cam, the phenomenal
Yeah,
artist, Cam,
incredible.
is a good friend of mine. I love her. She's awesome. And we did this TED Talk, and we had this discussion, me and her and Jaron Johnston and Christian Bush, and Cam said there's a lot of realism. People can say, Cam said something about like, we have to focus. How do you stay optimistic? And I kind of stopped. I was like, well, optimism is not easy. It's a choice. There's always the bad, but the good's right next to it. You just kind of got to look around the corner. And for me, I'm so blessed that I was in a household where my parents, my mom and dad, they encouraged me to look at the good that was right next to the bad. You know, the bad's always out there. It's always going to be out there. But the good news is right there too. and you just gotta be willing to open yourself up and receive it. And that's kind of how I answered that. But I'm making this record, and I'm calling it The Optimistic. And I didn't even have this song wrote when I called it The Optimistic. I just called it The Optimistic. And we wrote this song about staring negative in the face and saying, I declare that I am a child of the Most High God, and that I'm gonna look at it as an optimistic opportunity, you know. So this song's called The Optimistic. Let's go back, skipping stones. So let's go back, skipping stones. Flashlight on, bed slide on my red backpack. Thought I could slide down the Milky Way. My dog could talk, my toys could walk, and I'd fly someday. Oh, I miss it. Oh, the optimistic. Sunset renegades, lovers of lane. Staying crazy kept us, baby, from going insane. Before we knew about this big battle world, no left and right, I'd hold you tight, just you and me, girl. Oh, I miss it. Oh, the optimistic. The optimistic. Do you hear it calling? Come along if you come in. Do you hear it calling? Come along if you come in. Oh, don't miss it. Oh, just listen. Oh, the optimistic. So let's go back to skipping stones. Put that flashlight in my face and this guitar. Oh, now I'm flying. Yes, indeed. 'Cause I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Oh, just listen. Oh, the optimistic. Thank you. Thank you. Well, buddy, I would love for you to send us off with your amazing voice and guitar. It's
Man.
just too much for me. I'm a huge fan, man. This is,
Well.
You're one of my favorites, really. And I'm not Nashvilling you. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Nashville don't tell you the truth. I'm saying, whoop, there's another bug. That's a good Lord slapping me in the face with a bug, saying, just shut up.
Well, to add what you were just saying, I said a lot about how much I appreciate your music today, and I wasn't Nashvilling you either. And maybe the reason why I said so much is because it felt so good to be able to be honest and just kind of gloat there for a second. And just this guy's incredible, and everybody that's out there, keep supporting him on his journey, pushing him forward. A lot of prayers. I'm encouraged to keep praying for you. You got great things in front of you. And again, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Mo Pitney, everybody.
I figured since we talked about him so much throughout the night, I better sing about him. And since it's so close to Easter, I didn't get to sing this song as many times as I wanted to. Normally, I wrote this with Billy Montana. We wrote it on Good Friday. And so normally this time of year, I always try to leave with this song because it tells the story. I tell people that after the couple years that we've had, it seems like the world progressively is... I guess you can see the image of men fighting for control in the tendency of human beings trying to be God, and how that just destroys everything around you. And the irony and the polar opposite nature of God desiring to become man and serving mankind instead of lording it over us, that he would have us serve him like an evil dictator. And that's kind of the way we act. It's not the way he acts. So I tell people this song's about humility, and I figured it was a safe place to share it. It's called Lower Still. There once was a king who was the king of everything. He had everything he needed at his feet. But the people of the land were crying out with empty hands. They were thirsty, they were dying in the streets. He knew he and only he could be the one to lead him home. So he faced the winter chill. It's hard to believe he'd even step down off that throne, but he would go lower still. The first night away from home, you know, he woke up in a barn, his royal body laying on the hay. Was a humble place to start, kinda lonely, kinda dark. And for the first time he had nothing to say. Pictures in his mind showed him the road that he'd go down, but it didn't bend his will. Already wrapped in a dirty blanket on the ground, he would go lower still. He brought hope, healing, mercy, and love, and they praised him as he went from town to town. Some followed closely and some followed far. Oh, and others only tried to shut him down. Before he traveled back, he had some supper with some friends in an upper room, talking man to man. And then he got down on his knees and began to wash their feet. Said, "This is something you do not yet understand." He broke apart some bread, raised his cup and gave a toast said his blood would soon be spilled. Oh, and later in a garden it was dripping off his nose, but he would go lower still. And they were cussing, they were screaming, crucify him on that cross. They didn't know who they killed. And then the serpent thought he won when they laid him in that rock. But there was life lower still. There was a life lower still. There once was a king, yeah, he's the king of everything, who had everything he needed at his feet. Thank you, man. I love you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thanks to all the fans that tuned in. Mr. Mo Pitney, y'all check his music out. Thank y'all for tuning in week to week. Everybody in the barn, I love you. Thanks for coming. God bless y'all. See y'all next week. Peace. Thank you, Dylan Jones.
A smoky bar